Welcome to Dani Cees Love Life Lessons, where your presence is a blessing, so enjoy the session. Hey, y'all might feel my energy off a little bit today because motherfuckers love fucking with me. I don't know what else to say about that. But anyway, happy Thursday to the ones that's having a happy Thursday. I'm going to try to push through like I always do. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guest, Dani of the Caliente Girls. Let's welcome her in, y'all. And I keep saying Dani, it's Bay Honey. That means
it's okay.
It's okay. You know, I just want to make it sound exotic because you're so beautiful and exotic.
So are you. You're gorgeous.
Thank you. How you feeling this Thursday? I hope you're having a better Thursday than me, man.
You know, people, of course, but you know, you gotta keep pushing.
People gonna be people, man. That's the only thing, you know, you gotta count. That's the only thing you can't count on from people is being people, being humans. Then with life and when they humaning, when they humaning. So how you how's everything going on with you? Let everybody know who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So everything's been great. I am, I'm an entrepreneur. Let's just say that I'm an entertainer. Overall, I am a radio host for Caliente Girls on DashRadio. I am an actress. I'm an artist. I'm a red carpet interviewer. I do a little bit of everything.
You a Jackie of all trades. That's what I was saying. Like I'm bringing up Caliente Girls because I finally get somebody on my show that also hosts their own podcast and kind of knows this life and knows what we go through on a regular basis just to get this going, and the production, the things behind the scenes before they see us just say action. You know what I'm saying? And you said actress too. So you know about that too. You know, it's a lot of work behind the scenes that it takes before you guys get this beautiful production that you see. You know what I mean? And it could be stressful. Yes. So you're an entrepreneur, podcaster. Tell us a little bit about Caliente Girls. What is your show based on and what is it about?
So Caliente Girls, we are the talent scouts of LA. So anybody that's doing anything or anybody that's making an impact in LA, we try to get them in so that we can give them more of a global, you know, standpoint so that people can really see what's really going on in LA, because LA is popping, but a lot of the times they don't really see too much. They only see what they see on TV. So it's kind of like we got to bring that to the world. And
Absolutely.
My segment as a Black woman, I like to bring on mostly like Black artists and artists of color, and even people of color that are just doing great things. I like to bring them on, which I need to get you on too. But
yes,
we bring on Black people that are doing good things because I feel like we don't get enough credit as a people. And I feel like a lot of the negative connotations, a lot of the negative stereotypes are put on us. So it's like, I feel like part of my purpose to put us in a better light.
Well, shout out to you and hats off to you for that, because we definitely need to have, you know, more people of color being, you know, enlightened in a positive light. Like you said, we do great things, you know, and then not everybody's in that high status, right? Like not everybody's a superstar. Everybody can't be Cardi B. Everybody can't be, you know, Angela Bassett, but there's a lot of people that are up and coming doing a lot of things. So I, you know, shout out to you for giving people that platform, because that's kind of why I started this. I wanted to give people a platform and a voice. You know what I mean? Give them an opportunity to say what's on their mind with no judgment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Like give people the opportunity to say how they really feel, you know, lay back, chill, like, you know what I mean? Fuck it. Say what's really on your mind. You know what I mean?
We need more of that. There's too many cookie cutters out here trying to please everybody.
Absolutely. It's a lot of people pleasing going on. And, you know, you mentioned, you know, people getting a global experience. So how much exposure do they get by going on Caliente Girls? Explain a little bit about DashRadio. I'm familiar with DashRadio, but you know, where is your show podcasted? Where can we see it? You know, what areas and regions does it touch?
It honestly, it touches globally everywhere. We get 4.8 million listeners.
Wow.
4.8 million listeners per like show, per everything. And then it reaches like you'd be surprised. You got people in like Africa, we got people in India, we got people
That's
all
dope.
over the world that listen to us. And you could actually find us anywhere. Ours is actually partnered with iHeartRadio,
Okay.
iTunes, all that.
Okay, you're doing big things. See, I need to be learning from you. See, that's another thing about this game. You have to also learn and uh, share the wealth. A lot of us, you hear a lot of those sayings, game is to be sold and not told, and all this different stuff. But I really believe it's the opposite, that we need to share the knowledge with other people so we can help other people. It's enough out here for all of us, you know what I mean, to get it. And so I'm sure a lot of people want to know, how did you start that? I mean, how did you even start in this industry, in this business? What made you jump into that? I know you do many things, and we're gonna jump into that, but really on the Caliente Girls, what created that force in you?
It was just crazy because I feel like God just dropped it in my lap. So when before I got on Caliente Girls, I was just making funny videos, just venting, because I had went through a really messy divorce, and I was just popping shit about my ex and shit. Like I was popping shit and
Right?
making funny videos, making memes out of it. All of a sudden I get, a message like, hey, do you want to be on a podcast? I go and I started off with a podcast, started doing more podcasts, started like going to events with people and stuff like that. And then it was so weird because I ran into Cam at one of these events, and then Cam asked me to be on the Caliente Girls as a guest. I came in.
Okay.
The owner, shout out to Cam though for hooking me up with that, because he
Coach
really
Cam, I mean, he be doing his thing, man. He's the plug.
he really is. He really is. And he had me on there, and it was crazy because the owner, Flo, who created the show, who has the platform, he's an OG in the game. Like Flo,
Okay.
one of the sickest people in the game. Like he is dope. And he seen something in me during the interview, and he was just like, hey, have you ever done radio? And I was like, nah. I was like, no, I never did radio. He's like, would you be willing to? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I seen your videos and stuff, and I seen, Cam show me your videos and stuff. Would you like to be a host on our show? I was like, damn, I just came for an interview, but okay.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Look, when it's in you and not on
Yeah.
you feel me? It's like it's no limit to that. And other people see it. So that says a lot about you and your character and your voice. Cause that's kind of how I was doing radio years ago, but I started doing my own lives, like my morning rants. You know what I'm saying? Just about life. Life be lifing, right? So I was doing all this different rants about my day, whether it's work or relationships with people and friendships and whatever, family. And people started looking forward to them like, man, you really should do something with this. And I was sitting on it and sitting on it till I finally was like, you know what? It's time to do something about it. I'm seeing all these podcasts pop up. I was doing radio for a long time, but I wanted to be something different than radio, because I'm a hip hop artist myself. And I didn't want it to be just about indie artists, even though I did that on Everybody Radio. Shout out to Mr. Buck, rest in peace, who gave me a platform at that time. And so I wanted it to be about life. That's why I called it Love Life Lessons. I wanted you to talk about, like you said, you mentioned a divorce. Man, that's deep, right? And that's got to be tough. I just want to not just delve into people's business on some Jerry Springer type shit, Jerry, but just really just give people a platform to say the things in their opinion and give, their stories, because sometimes sharing your story can actually help somebody else, so that's why I'm always transparent on my shows and my lives. And I watch yours all the time, and I'm like, man, she be kicking some jewels, she be dropping some gems for the ladies, we're women, you do it for all people, but let's keep it real. You're speaking from a point of view of yours, which is you're a Black woman. So exactly. I dig that when I watch your stuff. I'm like, she be on it. We get to see you work out, we get to see being a mom, you know what I mean? How is that like balancing all those things, being a mom and work balance and all the things that you're doing, being an entrepreneur? I mean, you're a busy lady.
It's nothing short of God, because I don't know how I do it. I'm gonna keep it real. I think it's just by the grace of God, because when I tell you my toddler is a busybody, like she's like Tree going on 30 years old, like so
and she's beautiful, by the way. She's so cute.
Thank you. She is she's a handful. She's a pretty little gangster. That's how I'm gonna call her.
Like her mama. She got it honest.
She gonna be a bigger gangster than me though. She gonna be way bigger than me. She already half my size. She's only 3 years old.
Right.
But it's hard, but it's like it's worth it. Like seeing her and making sure that she's straight. Cause it's like I'm not only doing it for myself, I'm doing it for her.
Yeah, so absolutely.
I wake up and I see her and I was like, damn, like I don't want for her to be out here being non-motivated, sitting on her ass, waiting for a man to do some shit for her. I want for her to go get it. I want for her to see her mom grind and be like, no, my mom was a hustler.
That's right, because we already know she might be a bag of bones waiting on a man to do it. No shade, because there's some good men still out there, but you know what I'm talking about.
But the majority of the men, especially in LA.
Girl, I always tell my single friends, it is shit and piss in the dating pool. And that's just to keep it real. I feel sorry for anybody that has to go swimming in that. I mean, it's just a mess, especially at our age, most men are already in a situation, whether they're being honest about it or not.
Exactly.
Or they're not motivated, they're not driven, they're staying and living with somebody else, and nobody's on no gold digger shit, but you just mentioned about 5 jobs like a Jamaican you got. So why wouldn't you want that from another man? He's got to be doing at least that, right?
At least that. At least my thing is at least have a career. I don't care if that man is professionally like a professional fighter. I don't care if that man is a rapper. Well, preferably not a rapper. I don't want no damn rappers.
Oh, girl, right.
I don't want no rappers. Or whether he's flipping chicken at Chipotle. I don't care. As long as you have a stable income.
Hello, you live in high-ass California, okay? You got to have a stable income in California right now, literally.
Exactly. And honestly, like you said, the dating pool is piss and shit. But the thing is, I'm waiting on God because I'm like, I'm not just gonna be dating everybody. No, like, and I know, like, I be seeing guys in and out, like, especially with my show and stuff and being on the Hollywood red carpets. It's like I see how these niggas move.
Okay.
And it's like they be having whole girlfriends and stuff. And it's crazy because some of the girlfriends be down with it. They be like, hey, you want to nah, like what the fuck? Like,
I mean, this world is so,
which is cool if that's what y'all into, but it's like, come on now. It's kind of like,
there's no boundaries, no morals, really. Like, you mentioned God a lot, so I know you're a believer. And, like I said, I follow you closely. And I know you said, I'm waiting on God. I'm not like laying around with men right now. And I really respect that, what you're doing, especially being a mom to a young lady, a young daughter that's going to become, a grown woman and a young lady. And you want to definitely set a good example for her. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of, I get it, I will give this young day and age that they're bold and, fearless and, have no inhibitions, but there should be boundaries and morals with that. And especially when we're talking about faith, for me, you can't just be giving up the cookie to everybody because they're not worthy. I need my ladies to know their worth. You ain't gotta, if you love your body, I get it. But do we have to flaunt it all the time? Do we have to, put ourselves out there like we're just a piece of men? We want men to respect us, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and I get the women that are, self-proclaimed like, you know what, I should be able to walk with my titties out and a man should still respect me. Yeah, but let's just be realistic because we're visual people. We were born in of the flesh, you know what I'm saying? And so we just have to be mindful, and I think this day and age, they're not really mindful.
No, they don't, like you said, they lack boundaries. And the thing is, and it was crazy. It wasn't until like, yes, I've known hoes growing up and I've been in and out of LA, back and forth to Vegas and LA, but it wasn't until I got in this industry that I actually seen the women that they were like, as I've been stereotyped a lot. Like people have tried to stereotype me into, oh, you sleep with everybody. I don't sleep with nobody. I'm like, I've been celibate for over a year now. And I'm very picky with who I end up with. But when I started working in the industry, I actually met women that were just sleeping with guys, like, just because they showed them attention and were expecting me to do it. And I was like, hold on now.
Right.
This is why men look at us like we're pieces of meat. Why when I get approached by men, they think that I'm about to open sesame just like you.
Right. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think it starts with what they saw growing up. Like, what type of father figure did they have in their lives? You know, when you see women seeking this much attention from a man out in the world, you wonder what were the men like in their family. You know what I mean? Even if it's not a dad, not everybody has a dad, but you know, you may have an uncle or big brothers or somebody in your life to show you like, hey, no, this is how you should be treated. And this is how you should, you know, hold yourself, you know, high. Don't belittle yourself or put yourself out there for any man's attention, because we love you here at home. And I definitely believe it starts at home, you know?
And I desperately want that for my daughter because I didn't have that growing up. Like my dad didn't really like me. My dad didn't get along till I was like an adult. So we're both hard headed. We're both just aggressive. So we just butted heads. But I want for my daughter desperately to just have a father figure to just look up to give, you know, to give her that security where she don't grow up being like these other girls. I don't want that.
Right. And that means you're a single parent. The father is not present.
No.
And see, that sucks. You know, that's such, you know, that's why I probably waited so long to have kids. Me and my husband been together. It'll be 19 years this year. And now we want to create a family and start a family. But I was so cautious of that, you know, because I was born out of wedlock. He was born out of wedlock, you know, and I wanted it to be different. Like, I want us all to have the same last name. I want my kid to grow up with their mom and dad present. Not saying we're going to be the perfect family, but to know what genuine love looks like. See it from their mom and dad. Oh, my mom and dad hug and kiss all the time. They show me love. They've been together all these years. I just wanted that because it's something I guess internally I yearned, you know, growing up. I wanted that so badly. So I respect that you want that for your daughter. And, you know, shout out to you for working hard and being all that you can be. I mean, it kind of sucks because you didn't make her by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Shit happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, trust me, shit happened to my mama, shit happened to everybody, you know. It's a part of life, but I wish we could like change that narrative, you know, like you said, we want to switch it up. So, you know, I got to tap in. You've been celibate for a year, girl. You go. Shout out to you for that. Now, that means it's hope. It can be done, ladies. You can hold on to the nookie. I see you begin your workout on, though. Is that burning off that extra steam?
Oh, yeah. Well, my is like, I don't want to lay with anybody that I don't feel like has love for me or loves me. So seeing that and how men operate, especially in the century, especially in LA, it's like none of y'all deserve to touch me. So it's just kind of like, it's more of like a disgust. So it's like, it's not all men, but there are some men that I'm like, okay, like now that I've raised my standards, that they're approaching me and I'm getting more grown ass men approaching me and not overgrown man child. So when I've been celibate for over a year, it helps me be celibate, seeing the type of men that are out there. And I'm just like, they don't deserve me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know your worth. And that's just what it is. I mean, you know, this industry that we're into, you mentioned Hollywood, like red carpets and, you know, DashRadio, having this platform. I'm sure you come across, you know, celebrities all the time or people that, you know, have a name for themselves. And, you know, men could be a little egotistical, women too, but, you know, men in this business can be a little hardcore. You know what I mean? Go ahead, girl. Girl, I already know they could be very hardcore. So tell me what type of conflicts have you run into in this business where you've had to like really check somebody? You know, you don't have to say names, but where you have to let them know, like, that's not where I'm at. That's not what I'm about. Because, you know, I've been in some environments where you like, are these people serious? Is he coming at me like that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I'm gonna just name a couple. I'm gonna name like two. I run into it almost all the time.
Yeah.
But places I've let it be known that a nigga could get a fucking right real quick. They don't do it as often.
Good.
But the first situation, it was like a podcast I was working on. I was working on a podcast. I'm not gonna name no names. And the female host that had turned into a manager, she was promiscuous. And she expected for me to be promiscuous. So she was telling the guys on the show that I was gonna sleep with them. She kept telling me
no.
Trying to, you know, telling them like, oh yeah, you know, Bae's a freak, Bae this, and like telling them stuff, and they coming to me like, oh, you know, your friend told me, your homegirl told me you was trying to link. And I had like 9 guys from the show hit me up in my DMs. And I told her, I was like, hey, yo, they keep telling me, you telling it I'm asleep. Yeah, you need some dick in your life. You need a big dick baller. You
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, girl, that's not your place to tell me
That's
what to
not your place. And that's so disrespectful on so many. That's
do.
so, I mean, degrading not only to you, but to herself. Like, you're laying around with these men. Are they putting her in any more positions? I mean, do they have her at the big house on the hill from all these, backs you've been laying on? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna let her life reflects what she puts out. That's all I'm gonna say. But
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Like, it was crazy. She even had a guy. She set me up at one point for a guy to follow me to where I was at and try to kidnap me, like on some sex trafficking shit. So it was
what
like,
the hell?
Yeah, she was like,
what?
She was trying to sell me to these men. So I'm not gonna name her name, but it's like I ended up leaving the podcast because she kept.
Yeah.
She had told me, she had became the manager. She had told me, she's like, oh, you have until next week to go and fuck one of these guys that have been on the show. And I'm like, why would I need to fuck any of the guys that have been on the show? Like, she's like, well, you got to take one for the team. You got to be a team player, babe. There's no I in team.
So was she really running a prostitution ring? Because it don't sound like no podcast. Why do I gotta fuck him if he already got on the show? It's not like she's saying go fuck Drake so he come on the show. I'm just trying to figure out. He already been on the show. So what am I gaining for fucking him afterwards?
I think the thing was she wanted to be able to say that I slept around in the industry. And because no guy in this industry has had me. And so a lot of the guys in the industry, they respect me because nobody's touched me. So
right.
She wanted me to lose. She wanted for me to look like, oh, you sleep with everybody, da 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 da, because her name was ran down. So it's just like, for me, I'm like, I walked away from it. I was like, you know what? And then I actually got on the radio show, and that was a blessing because after I decided to detach a little bit, I got hired on the radio station. And the second incident, well, it wasn't even an incident. I get this all the time, but it's just one of the guys. So this guy, he's like super popular. He hangs out with the celebrities. He's always with everybody. Okay, you seen the shoot that I had just did for Essentia and Fashion Nova, right?
Yes, I did.
I wanted to show my sexy side a little bit because I really just be on some goofy shit, really on some just, chill.
Right.
Stuff. I was like, you know what? Let me show my sexy side a little bit,
Yeah.
And this guy wrote me on one of my posts, and he was like, have the button where I had the bottle, to my have my tongue. He wrote me and he was like, I would like to see that in person. And I was like, oh, do you mean because he had been cool for a minute. I was like, do you mean you want to see me in person? I was like, because, I'd love to come with you to one of these events and, we could network together. He didn't see. And I told him straight up, and I was just like, hey, I was like, I don't be sleeping with everybody. I'm like, I don't even know you like that. But he kind of just didn't respond. He just completely ignored me after that, because he was he pretty much came at me in an arrogant way, so pretty much because he was popular, because he was pretty much just telling me, hey, I want you to suck my dick.
Yeah. How old are we? My thing is, I mean, you probably had that 100 times. I would hope so. Right. And everything isn't about sex in this business. That's why me and hip hop fall in and out of love as far as being an artist, because I don't want to sell sex. I want to sell my bars, what I have to say. I can spit. I don't want you to, come suck my pussy, lick my dick. That's not where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't put that type of energy out, and I'm a married woman. So it's literally not what I'm going to be saying out here. But it's just sad. You know what I'm saying? That people will come at you like that. You can't, that's what I mean about being just, like I said, showing your sexy side. You weren't doing nothing pornographic. You were just being sexy and just trying to doing an actual shoot, being a model. You know what I'm saying? You were working, and this is how this man is coming at you. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now. That's the main thing, especially being a Black woman in this industry, because we're put out like that. That's the difficulty that I run into, because men just automatically off top feel they feel entitled for me to sleep with them. Oh, you need to sleep with me. Okay, why? I don't know you.
And then the girls that fall for that, they're like you said, they're still in that same position. Those guys be playing them. They use that same line on everybody. So it's not going to get you anywhere. Exactly. So I'm so glad you're smart and have a head on your damn shoulders with a neck supporting it to know that ain't it. You know what I mean? You're very talented. You're very beautiful. You're outspoken, which I love that about you. You know what I'm saying? And that's me too. I say what's on my mind when I feel like it, how I feel like it. You can take it or leave it. I'm not going to change for anybody. You know what I mean? So yeah, wow. I hate that you had to deal with that.
I
That
mean,
sucks.
but you know, it's the industry.
Yeah, it's the industry. So you mentioned you're an entrepreneur. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Whew, so I have a lot of different businesses. So I do ad
Okay.
different brands. I don't know if you've seen like my little ads and stuff. I do campaigns for different brands, health food brands, and I actually incorporate my daughter in it too, so she could get a little bit of change. So I'm trying to teach her
Okay.
how to, advertise and stuff like that. And I do a whole bunch of stuff, man. I'm Jamaican, so anyway.
Okay. Go ahead, bae, honey. Okay.
Way I can get some money, I sell like websites and stuff. I do websites and creative websites. I actually have a degree in information technology that I actually obtained while I was in the army. So
Oh, dope. I do remember you telling me it was, go ahead, girl. You could kill a nigga. You can cook for him. You could sell him some clothes. You could brand them. You, girl, you go.
they gotta do it. Somebody gotta do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you said also you do acting. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. So I'm currently about to start filming actually two shows. I have two shows that I'm doing now. Because one
Okay.
just I lab recently. So I have one that I'm gonna be doing in Atlanta. That one got pushed back a little bit, but I'm gonna be doing one in Atlanta about a college student. I'm gonna be a college student, and another one I'm doing for single parents. So I'm a single mom aunt, and the one that I'm doing in LA. And
Okay.
yeah, so there's like a lot of different. I'm working with Ronald, so the famous homie. He's on Instagram. You could check him out. I'm working with Spill Media on that. So I'm doing that, and like the roles are like kind of challenging me because one role I'm playing like an auntie, and I'm going back to stripping, which is crazy because back in the day, way back in the day, Old Bay, stripped for a little bit because I was with a bunch of bum ass niggas that weren't trying to work, and I was trying to take care of a household.
Right.
So they was just like, oh, well, you could go shake your ass. You know how to dance anyways. And they just rather me dance than to work.
Right.
So
While they sat there and played video games and came and tried to collect. Right. Got it.
well, not even video games. They was out They was out fucking strippers and doing all types of crazy shit. They was out
Oh
partying,
Lord.
eating, but I was taking care of the household. But they were just like, oh yeah, go make some money. So I would do that to make sure me and my daughter and them and their cousins had a roof over their head.
Right.
And I told myself I would never go back. I haven't been back since I left. But in this role, the lady has to go back to it. So it's kind of like challenging me because I was like, damn, like I said, I was never going to go back. But I was like, I'm acting. I'm acting.
You're acting. Oh yeah. But that gives you like more depth to your character because you literally have lived it.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it could be triggering, right? Sometimes like trauma triggering, like I don't want to go back to that. But then it also could be, I look at it on the positive spectrum that it could be like healing. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what? If I ever had to go back to this is probably how I would be. You know what I mean? Learning from your past experience, not saying that you would do it, but you, like you said, you're a mom, you're going to do what you have to do to take care of your kid. Just God forbid something happen. You know what? I know more than I knew back then. You know what I'm saying? I know I'd be doing it for my baby and not for these niggas sitting on the couch or going to fuck other hoes while I'm just bringing in the bacon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's dope. That's really dope. I didn't know you were an actress. See, I learned so much. See, when we met through Cam, and your energy was everything when I interviewed you. And so I was like, I gotta have you on my podcast. Like I have to. And then when I started following you, I was like, yes, I super have to have you because I hear all the topics that you bring up. You talk about some really important things that are going on, in relationships, in people's lives. And, I respect that because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to enlighten people on all different types of things. We all have had love. We've all been through life and we all have lessons. So that's why I named my show that, because I wanted to highlight those areas for people. I don't know why I feel like I'm breathing hard like a fat bitch. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I need to be out there working out with you, girl. I be seeing you getting it. Yes.
Let me know. We got to find equal place though, because you all the way out there.
I know, right, girl? I know. We gonna meet in the middle. Don't trip. We gonna meet in the middle. So what we talked about the different conflicts that you've had with some men on some sexism. Have you run into any racism being out, doing what we do as Black women, in acting, or been shunned because, the white girl with the big booty is getting it now? Because now white girls got big booties and shit now. Like, we ain't all that no more. Like, that was our thing. Now they going to buy all the shit and we just got to compete. Like, have you run into anything like that when it comes to racial, especially in this industry? I mean, it's hard out here. Just thankful that the people that and that are giving you opportunity and you're so talented. But I know we all have run into those no's or not right nows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've actually dealt with that. As far as like my personality, I have a strong personality. I speak my mind, and as a Black woman, it's very easily misconstrued as anger. Like, Black woman. So like, if I go into something like, let's say a white girl, no offense to nobody else, a white girl, a Latina girl, or I'm Latina, but I'm a Black Latina. At the end of the day, I'm straight up, but I'm a nigga first.
Okay.
But,
it's how the world views you. Unfortunately, society's gonna see you as that. I didn't know you have. See, I'm learning something about you. You have Latina. Go ahead, girl.
I'm actually Jamaican, Puerto Rican, and some Hawaiian. So
okay,
of all of that. So like Afro Hawaiian.
You got a little stew pot going over there.
Family, they like to blend, but it's like I'm like I said, I'm a Black woman first.
Yes, absolutely.
As a Black woman, I've ran into when, let's say, somebody crosses my boundaries, if somebody disrespects me, if somebody wants to degrade me in any way.
Yeah.
If I speak up about it, if I say, hey, I'm not tolerating that bullshit, hey, it comes off like, oh, well, you're difficult to work with. You're an angry Black woman. You have an attitude. But the Latina
girl,
I
got an attitude.
the Latina girl, the white skinned Latina girl, and they don't even know I'm Latina until I start speaking Spanish. Or I start or I go off on them and they're like, wait, yeah, Boricua, bitch. But
okay.
Like the white skin Latina girl goes off and gets a and they're like, oh, that's sexy, that's spicy. But as soon as I say, hey, I don't like that, oh, you got an attitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
I've watched some of your lives where you kind of talk about it because, you're celibate and you're not taking stuff from men. So they probably come at you like, oh, she's bitter. You mentioned you went through a divorce. And no, I'm not bitter. I'm just smarter now. Yeah. And I'm protecting me. You know what I mean? Because y'all showed me you're not going to do it. So I got to make sure I protect me at all costs. So I definitely feel where you're coming from. When we speak our opinions, when we're strong-minded, we're angry, we're bitter, we're all these things, you know what I mean? And I definitely don't get that from you. I get like she's empowering other Black women to say, hey, you can stand up for yourself. You don't have to take that. No, you're not going to touch me. No, we ain't spending the night. No, I'm not doing that. Hey, you want to have conversation over coffee? Have you read what's the last book you read? You know what I mean? That type of thing. Like, speak to my mind, bro. Y'all need to speak to these women's mind. We're done with the touch me, fuck me, suck me stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I know what throws them off though when I ask them, I'm like, so when's the last time you spoke to God?
Oh yeah.
When's the last time you prayed?
Oh, they running away from you. They're like, oh, she Bible banging. Let me get the hell out of here.
Why are you running?
They go the opposite way. Okay. They're like, oh, I don't want to hear that. Yeah. Come go to church with me. That's a date. Let's go to church. Yeah. Yeah. I dig that. I love your faith. I love that you're not afraid to speak on it. Yeah. Because that's who you are and that's a part of your life. And that is also putting that in the forefront lets a man know where you stand and you either take it or you leave it. But this is where I am. This is how I roll. And roll with it or get rolled over. You feel me?
And here's the thing, like when you set those boundaries and you set those standards and you're like, okay, I want you to put God first. And my thing is I like being sober. I'm sober because I know how I am and I don't want to be that person no more.
Yeah.
So once I set these boundaries, it only scares off the men that are not capable of meeting me at my level. Yeah. So it's like the trash takes out itself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That sober mind is a awake mind. And, a lot of unfortunately women, they don't know that that's a tactic for men. They want to get you high. They want to get you drunk and get you all loose and relaxed. So forget where you at, you know what I mean? And then they can take advantage. And yeah, sober mind is everything. I haven't smoked or had anything to drink since like last year of November, I think, or so.
Nice.
So it's a lifestyle change for me as well. I tease every now and then, y'all gonna make me get a drink. But in reality, in hindsight, I immediately feel more clarity. Even though I'm married, he doesn't drink, he's not taking no advantage of me or anything like that. But just when you're out, and I look back at some of like my videos and stuff when I was loaded all the time, like you just look at yourself like, ooh, I used to look like that. I don't really like that side of myself anymore. Cause I'm a turn up queen. I love to dance. I love to party. So I never was like a fighter or a whore or anything. I just be like, just turn up, but still just like, you're a little bit more sloppy. You're not like your best self. And like I said, girl, go into them Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram memories will check you real quick. Like, damn, I don't want to do that anymore. Anytime I say I think about I want to have a drink, I just go back to one of those memories.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been sober?
I have been sober. Well, I've been sober since around November too, completely with no weed, no nothing, no shots, no.
Okay.
Nothing.
Perfect. See, we twins. Yes, girl. I think it was Thanksgiving. Around Thanksgiving time, around that earlier, actually probably a little bit before that, I was just like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna chill out. Plus, I was trying to get my health right.
Yeah.
Every year around the same time, I'm like, I'm too fat. I need to, and I go diet crazy or start working out and doing all this other stuff. And so, I was going real holistic, getting my herbs up and just, trying to prepare my body because I want to have a baby. I was like, you can't be having no baby with that kind of environment in your body. You know what I mean? So I started just taking supplements and just doing better and right by myself. I know I'm still a little fluffy. I do eat good, but it's good food, not like junk food.
You look great though. And I'm going to speak this into your life. You will conceive a child soon. Within the next 2 years, you'll conceive a child. I'm speaking that into your life.
Thank you. Thank you for speak that, say that. I appreciate that because, it's been a long battle for me. Everybody is not able to just, procreate. And so I would just say that it's been a battle for me. It's been something that I've been trying for a long time. And, you have to accept. That's why I'm pretty transparent on my lives, going through, fertility treatments and doing different things to try to get myself to that point, because I can't wait to say, hey, y'all, I'm pregnant finally. Cause I'm 42. So it's like, tick, tick, let's hurry up. Even though people are like, well, the Brad is 49 and Janet had her baby at 50 and Sarah had her baby at 90. Lord, please don't make me Sarah.
Oh my God.
I get it. That's the same thing. Like with that, you don't rush it. It's going to happen when you least expect it. I just need to be invited to the baby shower.
Girl, you on the list. You on the list. And that's going to be a whole production. I've been waiting so long, girl. Just know it's going to be a whole production.
From when you say you're 40, that's how I feel about love. Because I'm like, damn, I'm about to be 31 this year.
Oh,
so
girl, I'll trade with you any day. 31 still young, girl. That's fun. That's a fun time. The 30s is so much fun.
Yeah, boy.
Like, it's like, God, I know, I got to wait on my Boaz, but, like, I keep running into broke ass and all of that. I'm like, waiting on that. I'm like, okay, like.
Just keep thanking him for the discernment so that you don't be a fool for a fool.
Oh,
so that's the thing. Like, be glad, because some people, come in, what they said, sheep in wolf's clothing or wolf in sheep's clothing, and you think they're the ones, and they turn out not to be. So I'd rather you be happy and by yourself than be played with again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm lonely, but I'm not desperate. That's the thing. Yeah. It's on God. Like, God tell me it's the right man. I told God to give me some context clues. I'm like, God, let him say this, 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 and this, and let this, this, and this. So he has to have certain attributes for me to even know, for me to even get the clear, because I'm not entertaining nobody that's not sent from God.
And you know what? Like he says, be specific in your prayer, not just, oh, God, send me a man. No, tell me, I want a working man, a God. You give him all the details, because he can just send you a man. And that may not be the one. So
no, list. I have a whole, it's not a crazy, it's really not. Like, I have it's a list to where it's specific, to where it's like, this fits me, this fits my life, this fits what I want. Because People keep telling me what I want is impossible, but I don't feel like it is because I'm capable of doing everything that's on that list.
All things are possible through Christ. We know that. So they must not be believers, because it's not impossible. Absolutely. It's not impossible. And it's funny because I used to feel that way. I was such a tomboy. I was such like always the friend, the homegirl, that I never thought I'd be married, in love, and, cherished and treated the way I am. Like, my husband's very, very good to me. He's sweetheart. And so I never thought that for myself, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, maybe I didn't think I was worthy, and then as I got with somebody that saw the beauty in me, saw the greatness in me, and saw that I was worthy, like, I know my worth now because my husband lets me know, I'm beautiful every day, and I believe him. He already got the cookie, so he can't be lying, Right. He got to keep it real at this point, 19 years in. But seriously, like, I had to believe it, and it's all about faith. You have that faith and you keep that faith, you will definitely attract the right man, because like I said, you have a strong personality, but there's a strong man out there, a real man out there that can deal with it and won't be intimidated by that. So I'm speaking that into your life. If I'm going to be pregnant in the next 2 years, you're going to have you a brand new husband that knows how to treat you and respects you to the fullest in the next 2 years. We're going to exchange prayers for each other, okay?
I feel like at this point, after everything, I deserve it. I know I deserve it. So it's like I'm not settling until I get it. And I have specific, people be tripping on me about my specifics, but it's like, I know in my heart, like, it's going to happen. I'm going to get me. So my daughter, she's off of Kasi. I talk about it a lot. My daughter's has Samoan. And my big thing, her knowing her culture. So it's like her dad didn't set the best example. The men in his family didn't set the best example. So my prayer is more like, okay, I need a Samoan man that's sober, that has his life together, that is willing to love my daughter as his own, is willing to show her the culture, because right now she doesn't have the best perspective of the Samoan culture.
Right. Yeah.
So I know God's going to send me that man that's going to be like, you know what? I'll be able to see him, and I'll be able to see him in his Ia Lava Lava, showing my daughter, different stuff, and teaching her the culture, because that's a big thing for me. I don't want for her to grow up and have an identity crisis and not know who she is and not know where
she comes from. Yeah, absolutely. And my thing is, it's nothing wrong with being specific and having a preference. These men out here do it. Oh, she got to have a small waist, big boobs, big old booty. I want her to have long hair to her butt. Her eyelashes got to be long. She got to have this, that, and the other. So why is it, a problem when we are specific in what we want and got our list of things? Like, no, you deserve it.
Like, they try to tell you like, oh, your standards are like that'll happen, like that'll happen, like that'll happen. I'm like, okay, listen. If you can want a big booty foreign bitch, I can want a sober Samoan man, okay?
Hello, how you doing? It's somebody out there, trust me. And there are some Samoan, I don't know if you're Christian, but there are some believers out there that are Samoan, that are in church, and the real good ones, they're all about family. So, it's a little different because I grew up in Inglewood, and we had a Samoan / Tongan culture in our neighborhood. And they all were about family, you know what I mean? And married and had their kids and stayed. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but they absolutely believed in that. So unfortunately, you ran into one that didn't believe and didn't see the jewel that he dropped with you, because you're absolutely a gem. You're absolutely a gem. So, every show I do a segment called Dani Cees. It's just me doing an outlook of what I see, and I pull up a topic and I have people call in, whether they want to talk to you, ask you some questions, or if they want to speak on the topic that I brought up. So my topic today, which is, I typically don't like to do pop culture type stuff, but because of our conversation, it's perfect in line with what we've been talking today about, like, with, wanting a specific, type of man, and things that knowing our worth and, know what we deserve out of life and in a relationship. And so it's really been bugging me lately. And I said I would never speak of them, but I'm going to talk about Krishan Rock and
I knew you were going to
Blueface. I have to, because I feel, I am an empath. So I empathize with people. When I see people hurting, I'm not quick to like kick somebody when they're down. I'm not judgmental. So, hey, you wild, you young, you crazy. However, because I was that. Me and my husband, I was 23 when we got together, okay? I was a stone cold fool. He was 26. He was a fool. We was crazy. We was, crazy in love, and we had to grow and mature. And I'm all for that. But one thing I never questioned was if he actually loved me and care about me. And this guy, Blueface, like, he sucks to me. I don't care what nobody says. I don't think nothing's cute about him. I don't think nothing's cool about him. The way he treats women is pure trash. But I also, I've been having Krishan's back through this. But at this point, I just want to grab that baby and hug her. Like, know your worth, baby. Walk away from this man. This man has publicly disrespected you. He has done everything but shown that he cares about you, and I know she says, oh, he tells me he loves me every day. Yeah, when nobody else is listening. No, a man that loves you is going to say it on the top of a mountain or a rooftop and let the world know that he loves and cares about you. Because trust me, mine will. So I'm just bringing up, like, what's your thoughts of the Chrisean Rock and Blueface situation? I mean, what's your concerns? Like, some people, I got to play devil's advocate, because when she got with him, he had a woman, Jaden Alexis, and, she was pregnant and she was sad and going through it. And she was running around town talking about, I'm getting money with him and having sex with him. And now the tables have turned. She is now the pregnant woman that's emotional and in her feelings, and watching him. Now he's going and praising Jaden Alexis. Like, he's just like a demon child to me. I cannot stand him. I mean, shots fired. Do you think that she's getting what she deserves, or what is your outlook on that? And I'm going to open up the phone lines as well. Yeah. 747-888-0677. If you guys want to talk to my girl, Bay Honey, you want to ask her about the Caliente girls, about anything. Also, just if you want to talk about this topic, like Chrisean Rock and Blueface, like, I'm low-key tired of seeing them because it's so toxic. They're making money off of them, exploiting them with the Zeus Network show. They having fight talk over town. She trying to burn down his house. Like, what are your thoughts on that whole situation, Bay Honey?
I just feel like, honestly, she deserves better, but at the same time, she has to realize she deserves better, because ain't no way in hell a man is going to publicly embarrass me and uplift his baby mama and I'm still lay with him. Let's start there. I had a guy in public for another bitch that was raggedy, and I never spoke to him again. So it's just, once a man publicly embarrasses you, it's kind of over for me. But like, for her, I feel like she still needs to learn to love herself. She is gorgeous. She is beautiful. Like, man, I want to just give her a hug, because, girl, I done been through it. I was Chrisean at one time.
Right. Looks like we got a caller calling in. Caller, can you hear us?
Hi, daughter.
Hi, Mom. This is my mom. Say hi to Bay Honey.
Hi, Bay Honey.
So we were just talking about a woman's worth.
I was listening to that story you talking about these people, and you know what? I feel for her, but you get what you give in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you was, he was already with somebody and you became the side chick, and now he's doing the same to you. I mean, the writing was on the wall. You see that?
Right.
What made you think he was so special he wouldn't do it to you? Never think that a man ain't going to treat you better than someone else.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I think, like, her perspective and the way she saw it was, because they have a show together. She's now doing music. Like, really, he was the star, and now it's like she's the star, and I think he's really riding her wave right now. And her mind is, well, we getting money together, and she's just, I don't know, she's love struck over this fool. I don't know what it is.
Got it.
Yeah, well, she needs to remember that they weren't born Siamese twins together.
Absolutely.
So.
And now she's pregnant. So, he's really kicking her while she's down, as far as, being pregnant is emotional. A woman goes through a lot with that. This is her first child, not his, of course. He, even during that relationship, had a second child with the other woman, Jaden. So he just does what he wants to do.
I'd be done.
Yeah.
I'd just be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I lived before you came along. Continue after you're gone. And you know that's how I've always lived my life.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to say to Bay Honey, very impressed with you. Love your values, and Yeah. Wait on God to send you that Boaz. He's coming.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Yeah, she's her Instagram. She's so powerful. She always speaks, the truth and speaks her mind. She's a beautiful woman in this industry, and men be trying to come at her sideways, but she stops them short. And I like that she sticks to her guns when it comes to that. Absolutely.
Yeah, people should take notes. You know your worth. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mom, for calling in. You always showing love and supporting, and just want to say thanks. I love you.
I love you too. I see Tanya's watching you too. She's like, I love Dani Cees podcast. She's fire.
Well, thank you. Hey, Tanya. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Mom. I will call you when this show is over.
Yeah, you said that 2 weeks ago.
I know. I know. No, for real this time. Look, I be tired. Look, over 40, I'll be ready to go to bed at 8 o'clock now. You know something about that.
Well, I'm working out early, so just make it before 10.
Okay, got you. I love you and have a good night. I'll talk to you
you.
later.
Have a good night. Have a good night, Dani.
Thank you.
Bye.
I love that. Your mom is so supportive, just like my mom. I love that.
Oh, good. Yes, absolutely. Yes. She listens to every show. She calls in. She gives her opinion and her spiel. She probably has no idea who Krishan Rock and Blueface are, but she's like, just hearing that story. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, so anybody give us a call in. Don't forget the numbers on the bottom of the screen, 747-888-0677. If you want to pick Bay Honey's brain on how she developed this strength, this inner strength. And I know it comes with knowledge and just experience, right? Like, we've all fallen short. We've all made mistakes. But how did you really, I know you said you're God, but, tell us how you really got to this point where you're just so strong or you're able to deal with it. And I like that you were transparent. You said, yeah, I'm lonely, but I ain't desperate. You know what I mean?
Man, I had to get knocked on my ass quite a few times throughout life. Like, kick my motherfucking ass.
Okay. No, keep it real. I know.
I had to whoop my ass a few times in order for me to be like, all right, you get it? You get it now? Like, it took me getting knocked down and learning from those lessons and learning from, okay, I moved this way and this didn't pan out this way. So next time I know not to do this. So it's like, it took a lot of, what I say, trauma. Like, granted, now trauma is nothing to be glorified, but at the same time, trauma helps give character development. It ain't nothing like getting knocked on your ass for you to get it into shape. So
yeah,
that, and then of course my faith in God, because I've had times where I had nothing but God to lean on, where I couldn't call my friends, I couldn't call nobody. My mom, my mom, she's up there at age, and she's just like, I don't want to talk my mom ear off all the time.
Right. Yeah, and they came up in a different time, even though the situations. Life is life, you know what I mean? But like I said, they come up in a different time, and sometimes they don't understand from whence we come from and what we're in at the time. So sometimes you can't just go to mom. Sometimes you want that person that's your age, on your level, that has a little bit more understanding. My friends call me the counselor. Like, yeah, I've been in a relationship for 19 years, but it was not always, peaches and cream. We've been through some things. Before I got with him, I was, through some things. So I have a lot of, information, I should say, and I have a lot of experience. So when people call me and ask me, well, how did you go through this and how did you get through this? Yeah, it was a lot of prayer. Absolutely a lot of prayer, a lot of faith, but not everybody has that. I've just got to be honest. Not everybody has faith. Not everybody, leans on God like we do. And so, you also have to come from a logical standpoint. Like you said, getting knocked on your ass. How many times you going to walk into that wall before you realize the doorknob is to the left and you can open the door and walk through? How many times you got to do it?
Exactly.
To that not just grow, a whole tumor on the side of your head, you're going to finally realize that that's not what you should be doing. And, sometimes it's because we want to see the best in people, women, especially Black women. We fall in love with the potential a lot of times of situations, of people. Well, they could be, but they're not showing you that. You know what I mean?
As they are.
as they are. I always say, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't keep on trying to rationalize and give them excuses. Well, no, maybe he just was having a bad day.
No,
Okay.
you're just gonna hurt yourself. I did that. I had a guy where I tried my best. I tried to get him out the hood and everything, but he was so addicted to that life. He was so addicted to that power behind being
Yeah.
that gang and that power of him being this big dog in the
In the
streets.
streets. Yeah. That don't love his ass. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And I tried to get him out the hood. I moved him out the hood. He stuck me on like the rent and everything. Like I had 2 months worth of rent.
Bum to the bum. I
And
can't.
it was just crazy because I was like, damn, like I had to really look at myself like, okay, like, babe, like you have paid this man's rent. You got this man a car. He crashed it. This man
Ooh, girl,
um,
you was a mama before you was a mama, huh? Don't we just mamas and mama, huh? We love doing that.
not only was I doing that, but I was doing it for other people too. Like in my past relationship, I'm always a fixer. I'm a Virgo. So I'd be trying to
Oh
fix
yeah.
and I'd be trying to be like, oh, you can do it. And it's like I seen his potential. He had a good but I had to take him at face value because it was like, how many times is this nigga gonna show you his ass and show you that he don't want to be out that life?
Yeah.
He don't want to stop gangbanging. He don't want to stop going in and out of jail. He don't want to stop fucking raggedy bitches. He don't want to stop doing that. So
Yeah.
you've got to save yourself right now.
Yeah.
And you push him to the side because God got somebody better that isn't going to expect for you to take care of them as their mother. God got somebody.
The problem was you saw his potential, but he didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like I had to chalk it up to the game. Like, okay, like that was a mistake you made. You learn from it, but God's gonna bring you somebody that you ain't got to worry about. God gonna bring you somebody that just, you ain't even gonna have to pay no bills. You go half seas, but you're not gonna have to worry about taking care of a grown ass man.
Well, I will tell you this, the piece of advice I would give you. And I know, yes, do not lower your standards by any means. If you want a specific type of man in your life, yes, you pray for that and you seek that. However, sometimes at 30, 31, what we think is hard knows, like we all have a type. You're like, oh, it may not walk up to you, Samoan. He may not. But you know what? You can still show your baby Samoan culture, and he can still be a man that comes in and shows your baby what it is to be a real man, to be a father, what it's like to be loved. And I'm saying that because just be open. God knows what you want. He knows what your heart desires, and he's absolutely going to give that to you. But it may not be packaged the way you think it is. And that's how I'll say that, because, when I ran into my husband, I didn't know that that wasn't on my list. It wasn't my plan. It just happened. Literally like out of a book, a movie. And we still went through our shit, but we absolutely, like, he swept me off my feet. He showed me love. He showed me, compassion. He showed me, all that, the tenderness. And he's from the streets. He's from Watts. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but he had already cleaned himself up and fixed his life. Now, I didn't have to fix him and mommy him and baby him. He was already a grown man when he came to me. See, that's the thing. You need a grown man now. You ain't trying to raise him. You ain't trying to raise him. But, he may have some growing up to do, some things, and you guys can grow and learn together. And so I just don't want you to shut off something that may be a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? That may come to you a little different than what you think the package should be.
That's why I'm like, okay, I'm open, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm not attracted to it, I'm not going.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm not. I ain't saying go get some old, buffalo over there somewhere just because like he's sweet.
No. I get, like, because I had 2 marriages. I settled in both my marriages because a lot of people told me, oh, it's not going to be, it's going to be a guy that you. So I was like, okay, but it's like I settled. So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, if it doesn't, then cool. But that's like my preference. But if it don't, I'm not going to be upset about it as long as that man like steps up to the plate and I'll try my best. But it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait on God, because every time I tried to rush it and be like, oh, I'm just lonely, I'm just like, eh. But honestly, like, I pray that it's in the package I want, because man, I'm not attracted to nobody else. Like, I'm
right. Well, that's what it is. If that's what you like, but also too, think about the environment you're in. Well, go to where they at.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in that environment and the company you keep is of what you seek, you know? And that's a lot of times like we're around other people and all these other, you know, and you know they don't fit none of your criteria and you just in there to be in there hanging out.
Was this? I was dating the hood ones. I was dating the hood ones that was gang banging. I needed
yeah.
own ones, the ones that have careers and lives.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know what it is we like about that little thugism though, huh? It's just a little a little rough side to him. Yeah.
I guess it's because you know they can defend themselves, but at the same time, will they defend you? You know?
That's what you need to learn. Not all them thugs stand up for you. Now they be out there, and then not all of them as tough as they come off to be either. Some of that shit is the facade. You go to the hood and talk to some of their big homies, and they getting disciplined and beat up every goddamn day. They ain't that tough either. You know what I'm saying? You be like, oh, you fooled me. I thought you was big Crip dog lope man and all that shit.
That's no. One of my exes, I'm not gonna say his name, I'm not gonna embarrass him like that, but you know, one of my exes, he was saying he was like this big gangbanger and stuff like that. So I moved out here to LA with him. He was talking about, we the top ones, we the top one. I'm not gonna say what set because you know, but we the top ones. And I grew up around their family, but it was like I never met him. So I never seen him around the hood like that. So I was like, oh. And he was like, yeah, we this, and this. And I get here and do the errand boy for the homies. They over there, errands getting cigarettes and Hennessy bottles and Don Julio bottles for him. And I'm like,
taking the charge. You didn't see him because his ass was in jail taking all them charges for the men that was making him run and doing the bullshit.
Got him.
He wasn't even in jail. He was like, he was raised in Vegas.
Oh man.
That's why I never seen him when I came back and forth to LA, because I would always be in LA around like the Carson and Torrance area. So I always be around the
well, that's where the Samoans be at, girl. You in the area.
That's why I've been with have been Samoan. I was raised around them. So it was like around like, you know, that area. So it's like I was at Carson and Torrance and I never seen dude until in Vegas. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, I'm one of the top ones. I was like, well, I ain't never seen you around when we got here.
Right. Found out you's a damn lie. You the errand boy. Ain't got no damn money. You ain't even the top dog.
Now it's like, I don't even want no gangbanger. I would rather have a man that has a professional career, a stable check. That's where it's like, okay, I can't expect a Samoan gangbanger to take me seriously because they don't even take themselves seriously. I need to get one that has a career.
Yes.
I don't mind if he has kids. Like I said, my standards ain't too high. I don't mind if he has kids because I got kids.
Right.
I don't mind.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't mind if he's Afakasi. He could be Afakasi. He could have short hair, long hair. I don't care. As long as he just has the base. I just need the base.
Right. Yeah. A starting point. You're 30. Finding someone at this time in your age would be a great person to learn and to grow with and to build with. It's like you said, as long as they have a basis and they have a purpose, that's what it is. You want somebody living for purpose, not running the streets. And that's when I got to my husband. That's how I was. You know, I had done with the dope dealers and this and that. I was like, no, the next nigga I mess with gonna have a W-2. Where you work? I need to know you got a real job on paper, not you hustling here and there and the money comes sometimes. No, because these bills come all the time. And I need to make sure that you can hold your own. And long behold, we met each other at work, got a state government job. I was like, okay. So we got retirement plans. That's what I'm talking about. So definitely, I definitely foresee that in your future. And we're going to claim that right now in the name of Jesus. Okay. So we are at the end. That hour goes by so fast. And I always ask all of my guests to give us drop a gem for us. It's called Dani Cees Love Life Lessons for a reason. Give us a gem about one of those things. I know we talked about a lot about love, life, some lessons. Tell the people, just drop a little something on them like you do on them lives, girl.
Well, I'm just going to say, don't compromise for anybody. Be yourself. Don't try to change for nobody. I don't care what everybody's saying. Stay true to yourself, because here's the thing. You're going to be more successful and you're more likely to run into somebody that loves you for you if you are genuine to yourself. You can't live your life with a mask. You can't live because eventually, you know, you're never going to be happy. So I are genuine Somebody gonna catch your vibe and you gonna be in the right career field. But always, first and foremost, let God lead you. Pray to God with everything. Go to God with everything. Don't go to worldly things. Don't go to other people. If you have an issue, if you have anything, God, because God's always going to make a way. God's always going to get you out of it, no matter what, no matter how impossible something sounds. Because I prayed to be where I'm at 3 years ago. I was stuck in the house 3 years ago. I was literally like Annie off of Orphans and shit. Clean, grown ass man.
Look at God. Well, that was a gem if I ever heard one. And I just want to say thank you, Bay Honey, for stopping by with Dani Cees Love Life Lessons. You have been absolute blessing. And you dropped a gem on us. Like, I just want to have you back. You know, I could talk to you for hours. Like, this was so easy and comfortable. This didn't even feel like an interview. This was a whole conversation and a vibe. So if y'all missed it, y'all missed out on a good conversation and a good vibe. Thank you so much for stopping in and tuning in to Dani Cees Love Life Lessons, where your presence has been a blessing. So I hope you enjoyed the session. We'll see y'all next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Same bad time, same bad day. Peace. Thank you. No, you kicked her out.
I didn't feel like it.